So everything I know about it, I know from the movies. And geez, the way they depict the women. I mean, the young women, all they did was have sex with dance instructors. And the older women, all married women, all they did was have sex with the waiters. And God, I wish I had come. When I was young, dating was so exciting. Like, I'm gonna have sex with this guy. Are we gonna hit it off in bed? Are we gonna get married and have a family? Now when I'm on a date with a man, I'm like, who is this old fuck? What am I doing here? What am I doing anywhere? Do I still have the will to live? But one thing is better about dating now. Chances are, I don't have to meet his mother. So tomorrow is my 70th birthday. And can you imagine speed dating at this age? I mean, in 1 minute, how are you going to find out about his childhood? He knew all his colors by the time he was 1. His childhood dog, a golden retriever. His mother gave it away because his sister was allergic. High school, his mother wouldn't let him play football. All the drugs he did in high school. College, he didn't get into his first choice. All the drugs he did in college. His first marriage, the dog in his first marriage. It was a boxer. He loved it. His wife gave it away because it fit the mailman. His daughter, she's talented and beautiful, but she married a dipshit. His son, he is a dipshit. His mother hated his first wife. She was right. His first divorce. His parents dying. Where did all the money go? His second marriage. The dog in his second marriage. It was a Chihuahua. He hated it. It lived for 23 years. His daughter from the second marriage. She wants to marry a dipshit. His second divorce. His prostate, his pre-diabetes, his post-diabetes, his cholesterol, the good and the bad, his new knee, his new hip, his high blood pressure, his low blood sugar, his new accountant, the old one died, his new dentist, the old one died, his grandson, his grandchildren, Andrew's transitioning, now he's Danielle. Now, one of the reasons of the existence of the Catskill resorts was anti-Semitism, because the Jews were not welcome in Gentile resorts. And while the Borscht Belt has fallen out of popularity, anti-Semitism has really made a resurgence. And some things just never go out of fashion. Now, there are 8.2 billion people in the world. 31% are Christian, 25% are Muslim, 15% are Hindu, 7% Buddhist. We Jews are 0.2% of the world population. But you gotta hand it to us. Small as we are, we annoy a hell of a lot of people. And people say that Jews are very powerful. We control the media and Wall Street and Hollywood and even the weather. Say what you want about us, we are not lazy. Now, about 6 months ago, a raccoon fell out of the ceiling at LaGuardia Airport. We did that. There is a famous myth called the blood libel, and that's the belief, the story that Jews need the blood of a Christian child to make matzah for the Passover holiday. Now, we wouldn't do that. Because if we use blood to make matzah, the matzah would be red. That would be a dead giveaway. You don't get to control the world making stupid mistakes like that. Now, if we were going to use the blood of a Christian child for our Passover celebration, we would put it in the brisket. Now, when I was about 10 years old, my mother decided it was time to tell me a truth about my future life. And she said to me, when you grow up, you are going to have very large breasts, and you are going to be happy about it. And she was right. Best relationship of my life has been with my breasts. They ask for nothing, but they give a lot. No one ever asked a boyfriend of mine, what do you see in her? Now, I have a 2-year-old granddaughter, and many of her first words began with B. So she said Bubbie, which is, Yiddish for grandmother. That's me, Bubbie Beth. And she also said Boobie, which is also me. And I am hoping that she inherits this attribute from me, if nothing else. And I've written a tongue twister for her. Here's it goes. Bubbie Beth boasts very big boobies. Very big boobies, Bubbie Beth boasts. If Bubbie Beth boasts very big boobies, how big will baby's boobies be? Now, I've been a criminal defense lawyer for more than 35 years, so I have represented many, many criminals. Mostly poor ones, if that makes you feel better. And I love my criminals, I really do. But there's one kind of criminal who really gets under my skin. He's not a drug dealer or a murderer. It's a criminal who cries. The little bitches. When you go into the jail and someone's just been arrested and he's in there weeping his eyes out, and I'm like, hey, dude, are you the same guy I just heard on the wiretap saying, motherfucker, if you don't give me your goddamn money, I'm going to come over there, I'm going to shoot your baby mama, I'm going to shoot your baby, I'm going to rip you a new asshole, I'm going to shoot you. Are you that same guy? Can I get you a tissue? And there's another kind of criminal that really bugs me. It's criminals who find God in jail. So I had a client who was a bank robber. He put a stocking over his face, put a gun to the teller's head, and then he says to me, Miss Farber, Jesus sent you to me. I'm like, really? Did Jesus send the FBI to you also? Or another guy, 3-time convicted crack dealer, and he said to me, I'm just going to put my case in God's hands. I said to him, well, got some bad news for you then. God's going to give you a shitload of time. But I love my Jewish clients. They never say Jesus sent me today, unless they're found guilty. And they don't put their fate in God's hands. They know a lot of Jews have done that in the past. Hasn't worked out so well for them. But they do believe. They believe in a God that created the heaven and the earth, and they believe in only stealing from government-funded programs. Now, criminals always have a defense. So one of the famous ones is the police planted it. So I had a client who was found passed out in his car in the middle of a median. And so I said to him, they said there was an open bottle of vodka in your car. And he said, the police planted it. I said, well, they found weed. Okay, the police planted that too. And I said, okay, well, they said you were covered with vomit and you had shit in your pants. And he said, they planted it. So I said, okay, well, let's break that down. So are you suggesting that the police drive around with a bucket of vomit and a bucket of shit? And they found you, they brought you out of the car, they poured the vomit out, you pulled down your pants, put the shit in, put you back in the car. And I said, yeah, that's how it must have been how it happened. And then there's another defense, which we in the business call the why would I do that defense. So, which goes like this. If I knew that check was forged, why would I use my own ID to cash it? If that picture of me with the guns and drugs was real, why would I post it on Instagram? And my answer to this question is always the same. Because you are a fucking moron. Now, when I went to law school, I thought I could be a great criminal defense lawyer because I had a commanding voice, I had a real passion for justice, and I had very large breasts. And you might wonder why would large breasts be important for this profession. And my idea was that if I could get the jury to focus on my breasts, they might not notice just how guilty my clients were. But it turns out, and I want to tell anyone, young woman out there thinking of becoming a criminal defense lawyer, that juries hate criminals no matter how big your tits are. Now, people ask me, is it hard to do stand-up? What if the audience is hostile? So that is nothing compared to standing up in front of a jury and telling them that your client is innocent when 5 separate eyewitnesses have identified him as the shooter. His DNA is on the murder weapon, and across his forehead is a tattoo that reads "Born to Kill." Try that for a hostile audience. Now, when I grew up in Brooklyn, and I realized that some of the things I learned as a little kid in school were really not very relevant. For example, the song "Old MacDonald Has a Farm." I mean, who gives a shit? If he had season's tickets to the Yankees, that would be something to sing about. And what's all this singing with a moo-moo here, does farm animals quack-quack here, moo-moo there? I don't know from these animals. Why does he sing about an animal I know something about? Like a gefilte fish. Now, as you get older, your perspective changes. So, I used to think of Romeo and Juliet as just star-crossed tragic lovers whose deaths were caused by the senseless hatred between their families. But now when I think about it, Romeo and Juliet had pretty darn good. They came from wealthy families. They lived in Italy. And in return, their parents only asked one little thing of them. Don't fall in love with a person from one particular family. Would that have been so hard? Couldn't they have done that? I mean, it wasn't like they were Jewish, and their parents told them they couldn't fall in love with 99% of the population in Italy. But no, they had to go and cause all that tragedy. And if they were still alive today, I would say, Romeo and Juliet, grow up, you little shits. Now, there was a very popular book when I went to high school called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Maybe some of you remember it. And there was a very famous line in there that your children come through you, but are not from you. Okay, your children come through you, but are not from you. And that really appealed to me as a misunderstood teenager. So, but as a parent, I'm like, fuck you, Khalil Gibran. The college tuition, that did not come through me. That came from me. The clothes, the iPhones, the weddings, all from me, baby. And I just want to leave you with this. If you are ever invited to a Passover dinner, you should go. It's a lot of fun. It's very interesting. Just play it safe. Don't eat the brisket. Thank you.
Moving, okay? Bless you. What's all that sneak? You want somebody to be efficient? Is everything under control here? I was sneezing here. Anyway, let's keep this puppy moving. Next comic is from New York City, and his last name makes me hungry. Willie Zaba!